So, after 20 plus years of investing, starting businesses, and generally being around many 7, 8, and 9-figure net worth individuals, some of whom I'm actually still friends to this day, I've learned exactly what the key signs are displayed by those on their way to financial success or those that have actually achieved financial success. You can even be at the beginning of the journey, but these signs are going to show through and show that you are on the right track. So I want to share with you the 4 signs that show that you are on the right path financially right now, how to stay on that path, and how to get on that path if you aren't on it already. So sign number 1 is that your give a crap button is just broken. People who are on the right path financially don't care what others think, and I don't mean by what they say, but their actual actions are what tell me the truth. Are you worried that when it's time to get a new car, do you kind of hesitate or kind of give pause to the suggestion to trade it in for an even older but more reliable used car instead of getting that new car? What about selling your nice single family home in favor of a duplex where you can rent out one side and live for free on the other side, or at least for a reduced amount so you can invest more into assets? Does that make you excited? Or does that kind of give you the no way I'm doing that feeling? If you're not excited about that, your button is probably not broken like those on the right financial path are. I routinely interact with people across the US, and I find that in most instances, the people who drive the nicest cars, have the nicest clothes, the nicest watches, the latest gadgets, and all of that are the ones who are the furthest off the path, even if they make a lot of money. Remember, income has zero to do with this. You can make $1 million a year and still be off the path. And yes, I know people exactly like that who are doing that aren't on the path at all, despite a nice high 6-figure, low 7-figure income. That happens because their give a crap button is not broken at all. They care what others think, and they feel like they need to keep up with the really rich Joneses now. Obviously, back in the day, they cared about the middle class Joneses, and then the upper middle class Joneses, and into the day where they care about the rich Joneses. The easiest way to judge this is to just follow the money. Does the vast majority of your money go towards things like car payments, credit cards, and a large mortgage, for example? Or does your money go towards assets like owning real estate that actually provides income, stocks, your retirement accounts, and even just building up cash for investing in the future? The answer to that question is almost always a great indicator to tell the story of if your button is broken or not. So the second sign is that your earnings, the amount of money you make, means zero to you. Now, what I mean is a person who is on the right path is constantly working to improve those earnings, but they'd never use their earnings as an excuse as to why they aren't on the path or not in the first place. Their income has zero to do with whether or not they choose to be on the path or whether or not they choose to get off the path. Their income is not relevant in that. There are people making $50,000 a year right now that are on the path to becoming a millionaire, or they actually already are millionaires despite never making more than $50,000 a year. Those people are not using the excuse of, if I made more money, then I would jump on the path. That never leaves their mouth. And here's the unfortunate reality. If your money habits are poor at $50,000, the only thing $500,000 in income is going to give you is more choices that are more expensive, so you will still end up in the same boat eventually in the end. I have seen it over and over again, and yes, having more income can accelerate the process and give access to better investments and all of that. I agree completely there. But the income itself has zero to do with you actually doing well financially. It's the person behind it that actually matters. I can take one person who is making $150,000 a year and is on the path financially and kind of swap incomes with a person who is off the path making $75,000 a year. The person on the path will adjust accordingly to get back on the path at the lower amount of $75,000 a year. Usually their income was cut in half, but they're still going to find a way to get back on the path. And the person who gets their income doubled will most likely find a way to upgrade their lifestyle, and before you know it, they are right back in the same boat again, being off the path. Just now they have nicer stuff to go along with being off the path. The income doesn't matter, so you got to get that out of your head. So the third sign is they view money as abundant. Do you view money as finite, kind of like there's only so much of it and that's it? Or do you view it as abundant and there's plenty for everyone? People who are on the financial path and doing very well view money as completely infinite. I mean, banks create it every day, the government creates it every day, people spend it every day on stuff that you can sell, and you can invest in a million different ways if selling isn't your thing. There is always a constant supply of money being created and spent. When a company goes public, for example, Instantly, those investors who were there from the beginning made tens, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars in a single day. They didn't have to take a dollar from you or I to make hundreds of millions of dollars in a single day. But they did have to have the mindset that money is completely infinite, and they can absolutely get a piece of that infinite money through the grind that is starting a company and running it and then eventually taking it public. If you view money as scarce or very finite, one, you're never going to do that. And two, you will constantly be trying to protect it instead of growing it. You're never going to invest or start a business or anything else and get on the right path because, it's risky. And doing things like house hiking, for example, you will only view the negatives and the risk. You'll never actually take a hard look at the positives. Oh, and by the way, most of those risks can completely be prevented or eliminated with proper investing methods. If playing the what if game and never finding the real answers is your go-to for anything, or if your actions say you are waiting for the perfect risk-free investment with a guaranteed outcome that actually doesn't exist, will actually leave you open to various get-rich-quick schemes out there instead of actually investing in investable assets that can create and tap you into that infinite money line. But all of that fear, all that what if, all of that stems from a place of fear, which is actually rooted in viewing money as scarce instead of abundant. All right, so I actually have a massive bonus sign for you after this next one, so make sure you stick around for it. But the fourth sign is you are actually not like the 99%. Inevitably, anytime I'm around somebody who is on the right path, and you just kind of know that they're on that right path, they are always got something about them that is just different from everybody else. Maybe they have a second job or a side hustle that their coworkers completely ridicule them for. Maybe they bring their lunches every day while everybody else goes out to eat most days, and they don't go to the bar after work while others make a habit of it at least once or twice a week. Maybe they drive an old beater car or they take the bus to work while everyone else on the same pay scale has a newer, nice vehicle. Sometimes it's just as simple as a conversation around investing that isn't about the latest hot stock or poop coin or any other hype peak where all the amateurs want to invest, but you actually have an intelligent discussion about tried and true investing principles or types of investments. When the 99% want to invest in something, my ears immediately go up, the hair on the back of my neck stands up, because history has shown over and over again that something bad is about to happen. But these folks aren't talking about investing during those times. They're talking about investing when nobody else is talking about it. I've also noticed that the folks on the right path have their defined written goals laid out for their finances and are making steps daily to get there. And I'm not talking about like back in January, February, March. I'm talking about like now, like in October, after all the hoopla of everybody else having goals and New Year's resolutions and whatever the heck all their Facebook and Instagram posts say they're going to do. Whenever all that's kind of died off, these people are still trucking along daily, making strides towards getting there. They have tracked and kept up with their goals throughout the year, separating themselves from the 99%. Not being like everyone else is exactly what you want to be, since most people are not financially independent or even on the path, unfortunately. And here's the bonus sign right here. And that is those that intentionally try to look poor rather than look rich like the 99% do. And this video right here gives you all the details. Now, I agree our system is broken, and this channel is about showing you the real truth behind finance, retirement, and entrepreneurship, so make sure you are subscribed whether you're 25 or 65. This applies to you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.